To invest in a early stage company now, that company almost needs to be generating a significant bit of revenue. And there's been a huge paradigm shift between what venture capitalists, I believe, used to do versus what they do now.
Agree.
There's been so much competition for deals, and this whole new generation of entrepreneurs following this lean startup method and technology advancing so quickly that so many more people are able to start companies so much more sooner and with less capital than they used to. So VCs are inundated with opportunities. And when we talk about this with our VCs all the time, in fact, I was in LA this week meeting with a venture fund there, and he said, we have so much deal flow that we're having to hire new associates and partners just to handle it. But it goes back to this point of saying, now as an entrepreneur, you have to have so much more traction than you used to have just to really get the attention of a venture capitalist. I don't mind people approaching me directly. In fact, I respect it because I think that that's just part of the hustle. And however, I do think that there's two dynamics to this question. There's the dynamic of the network effects. And if you don't have a robust enough network to meet enough investors to fund your company, that's going to be a challenge. And I don't have any data to support this, but I do think that there is data out there in some form that says, you know what, there's a great talented entrepreneur, he's a great idea, but he may not have the network, and then the company dies on the vine. Now, it's probably like the worst case scenario that you have. And then you might have an entrepreneur over here who is an okay entrepreneur and they have an okay idea, but they have a really strong network. So I think it's just finding a good balance between that. Yeah. And I would say for me personally, there's nothing wrong with reaching out directly. I think the most important part is the team. The team dynamics are huge, whether it's an entrepreneur or a fund. But more specifically, if it's an entrepreneur, we want to understand how the team works together, what the roles are. And we want to understand if they're working on big enough ideas. The idea has to be very substantial to intrigue an investor like myself or someone else that's in the market. I think the team and the idea are important because without the team, there's no execution.
Agree.
And without the team having a strong enough vision or idea, they're going to be unable to recruit additional talent. When you look at the data of organizations who are more diverse, they're economically better. Their revenue is higher. Their employee satisfaction is higher. So I think one of the problems that exists is those who have the capital tend to invest in people that are in their network. And for the most part, most people in their network look the way they do. Yeah. I do think that is shifting, but it's shifting very slowly. I think I'm a good example of that, where I'm what could be considered diverse as a black man working in venture capital. And I'm inclined to look at those fund managers and those entrepreneurs and those female founders because I understand that, man, if I'm not open to talking to them, no one else is going to be. I would say stay encouraged. And I know that's very general. And also in your effort to raise the short-term needs that you have, focus on the long-term as well. The most important thing about venture capital and in this industry that I've learned is the power of relationships.